As a dreamer, oftentimes there's so much anxiety, so there's that level of financial, how will you even pay for school? But in addition, we can't apply for financial aid. There's very limited scholarships. Sometimes you have to check the fine print on a scholarship. And so everything just feels like it has 10 more barriers. And so this scholarship and organizations like the Dream Center and all the mentors that really go out of their way to be kind of safe spaces for dreamers just make that impact. I don't have to worry about that. I can, do my homework and put my son to bed, and I don't have to think, okay, now I'm gonna have to out myself tomorrow so I can get this resource that other students can just get without having to think about that. And so that's really the biggest impact, just even knowing that the scholarship exists, even if I wouldn't have received it, is really good to know. My name is Stephany Murguia, and I am a first-year student in the Master's of Public Administration program here at the University of Utah. And my interest is in nonprofit management, and specifically in ensuring that nonprofits who are responsible for so many of our social services have the tools they need to do that and to reach the communities that most need those. Graduated a while ago with an undergraduate degree, and I had hoped to go to graduate school right away, but just because of life, I couldn't do it. I tried to, and then I actually ended up withdrawing. It was too much, and pretty soon after, I had a little boy, and so then I just spent a couple years raising him, and when he turned 5, I just decided if I was going to do this, I'm going to do it now. And there was a lot of fear of not being able to pay for it, fear of the time. How can you balance being a parent, being a single parent, and being a full-time student, and also working, and all of the kind of uncertainties that come with that. And so one thing that I do is take risks, and so I kind of took a big risk, hoping that if I asked for what I needed, the university would support, and just kind of seeing where it was. And I've been so blessed that that's happened. I think coming back to school as a dreamer is kind of that extra layer of fear. So not only the economic part, but also the constant unknown of what will happen next. And I think the way that I cope with it, and a lot of us do, is just kind of focusing on the next thing, right? Like this, we can only control so much of our situation, and that's what we're going to control. And so receiving the support from the university and seeing that the university has started a Dream Center and that there are people that I can directly call, and even seeing the existence of this scholarship, that makes a huge difference. I think I would tell students to ask for what you need. I think a lot of times, especially in my first round of trying to go back to school, I didn't really ask for what I needed because I was ashamed, I was scared, people would say no, I was scared of a lot of different things. And one of the reasons that I came back was because I knew that I wasn't scared anymore, that I could be ready for that. And I think that's the most important. It's okay to struggle, it's okay to be anxious, it's okay to be fearful, but if you ask for help, usually people will help you, and that's my biggest advice. I think the most important part of my journey to higher ed has really been the community. So from the first day that I stepped on campus, I went up to the Center for Ethics Student Affairs, and I was part of student groups, and I was part of a newspaper. And especially when it was really, really hard to kind of sit through difficult conversations, that community of students and professors and mentors were the reason I came back. And they were the reason why I came back after I left, right? It was those emails that I would get from my old professors that would say, hey, I'm doing this research, and I remember you wanted to do this research. Do you want to come back? And they would kind of consistently do that. And so I think that's been the most important part, the community that is created here. And now I get to see that community out in the city, and that's so much fun. I gave a workshop at a local high school, and I ran into somebody that I used to see up in Sessa, right? And she's a teacher now. And so that's really, really fun. And she has little kids, and we get to talk about our children. And so it's been really great to see that those connections really follow you through, especially here in Utah. I think I'd want the donors to know that it does matter, and that regardless of my path in life, the information that I'm learning, the resources that I'm getting access to, that goes so much more beyond me. So it goes back to my community, it goes back to people that approach me in the community and say, hey, you go to the university, can you help me with this? But also even just to my son, I didn't grow up thinking that I could do everything. I knew my situation from when I was very young, and I didn't grow up thinking that I could be a doctor or the president, right? That wasn't my reality, but that is my son's reality. And that's, I think, what I want the donors to know, that their contribution goes a really long way and it goes beyond me.